G'day guys, welcome back to our Big V podcast championship men today, and we are going to go through some offensively and defensive positionings on the ladder. Their ratings, points for and points against. Now, Mark to my right here, we're just going to go effectively from top to bottom. So number one, equal number one, we have Wyndham and McKinnon, both on 100 points per game. Mark, what do you reckon?
Yeah, look, after coaching against both these sides, there's absolutely no surprises. These two are sitting at the top. They play a pretty quick brand of basketball. Wyndham in particular get up and down. McKinnon more so sort of live and die by the triple a fair bit.
Yeah, pretty wild by that. They got the three high volume shooters are shooting over 40%.
Yeah, with Sharif Black being the worst at 43.5% off 62 attempts is ridiculous. And then Nathan Davis and James Malvasso shooting even higher than that. So it's a pretty daunting task to try and slow those three down.
Absolutely.
They lost a few games on the way when Sharif Black was out.
Three games.
Yeah, he missed 3. So him being back in the lineup has got their offensive back rolling. So
yeah.
Let's go to who's the third best offensive team, Ted?
We got Hume at third, and no real surprise there because they got some serious scorers.
Yeah, I think by adding Troyce and Christopher Carver this year, it's also opened up some of their other options. Not only are those two getting it done, but they've also opened up Chris Elder for a bit more dribble penetration, and all of a sudden Sean Prendergast, we know here that 30-piece, he can shoot the ball well. So
yeah.
No surprises there. And then on to fourth place, which we have Melbourne University.
Melbourne Uni, they got 4 guys that are in double fingers. Joel Rhymes averaging 20. So, no real surprise. 94 is pretty bloody high. Like, you would think they would be sort of hovering around one of the top positions, but no, number 4.
Yeah, and they're sitting fourth place on the ladder, so it sort of works out pretty even because when we get over to the other side, you'll see exactly why in terms of when we start talking defense as well. But not a huge three-point threat across the board apart from Palmerston and Rhymes. The others do like to try and get on the rim more so, but still a good, high-effective offensive team.
Absolutely. Now, number 5th is the number 1 team, Sunbury, with 93.4 points per game. You could probably say that a lot of that comes from Sanders.
Yeah, Sanders is obviously does the heavy lifting there when required. The danger is if Sanders does have a quiet game, which everybody's entitled to have, you sort of wonder where some of that scoring is going to come from. But with Barkley, Trevon Clayton, Gerald Blackshear, very similar roster to last year. They've got their options. It's just whether they don't necessarily get a huge contribution off the bench points-wise, Ted.
No, they don't. But then we'll quickly get through the rest because we will move on to defense. But we got Keysborough, Camberwell, Blackburn, and then Bellarine rounding out the rest. Bellarine down the bottom at last with 76.8 points per game.
I think you might have missed Western Port there.
I did miss
Western Port's a surprise for me. They're sitting in 9th position on the ladder, but they're 6th best offensive team, which I think anybody in that division won't be surprised with Darryl Corletto, Scotty Stone going absolutely nuts from the three-point line in particular. But they might need to address the other end of the floor as we head to the defensive side of things.
Yeah, that is a prize. Let's just go straight to them at 10th, last on the ladder. 103 points per game they're giving up.
Yeah, and that's being kind, Ted. If you round it up, it's 104.
Oh, we are being kind.
I think that's a real concern from there. 10 points worse on the defensive end per game than any other team. So they're trying to win shootouts, and at the moment, you would argue it's not really working.
No.
They've lost a number of close ones.
Yeah, I did watch a few minutes here and there in some of their games in the past, and from my point of view, it looks like their second side help is just not there. Middle penetration, baseline penetration, there doesn't seem to be a lot of help off the ball.
Yeah, I think they've had a change of coach, so maybe a change of defensive philosophies. I'm not sure, but it's they need to address that in the back end of the year.
Absolutely. We'll go from the reverse here because we have Camberwell sitting in 9th, Bellarine in 8th. Where are we next? We have 7th is Blackburn, but as we move up, it sort of gets a little bit more predictable with Sunbury first on the ladder with the second best keeping teams to 83, but Keysborough sitting 6th on number 1.
Yeah, that's what surprised me when we were doing these numbers. Ted Keysborough, who's sitting in 6th place on the ladder, lost a number of really close games early in the year. So could be that little bit higher. But yeah, sitting first, only giving up 82.6 points per game, which is are they other league leaders. So, can they sort of get going a little bit more on the offensive end to try and shoot up that ladder into the top 5?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, they have a lot of close games, so maybe they are sort of trading buckets a little bit too much with their points for and against. Where they need to change that for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Apart from that, I don't think there's too many surprises. We the top of the table happen to be the best defensive teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, that'll be all for us today, guys. We'll catch you guys soon. Keep it locked in for Big V.